Hey yo, it's Booch Ball on the mic. Booch Ball back. Week 5, episode 5, season 5. We in it to win it, baby. Run the tape.
Booch. We playing Booch ball. Booch. We playing Booch ball.
Hello and welcome back to Booch Ball, the only podcast on the face of the Earth's crust talking kombucha and college sports. My name is Alex, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Freed. Hi, Freed. How you doing over there?
Doing great, man. Good to see you. You think there's another kombucha college football podcast under the ocean or something?
Yeah, like somewhere in the mantle of the earth.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But yeah, we're doing great. Season 5, episode 5. Been waiting for this one my whole life. Born for this.
It's
and I'm
because
hungry for
Freed's
Booch.
favorite number is 5, by the way, just in case everyone's following along with what your favorite number is.
The Boochies know that I'm a big fiver, and I'm ready to drink Booch today on this beautiful Thursday morning. We're playing hooky from work. Breakfast Booch.
Breakfast Booch.
It's good to be a Cane.
It's good to be a Cane, baby. The Canes are 4-0, which I think everybody was hoping that's how it would all turn out. But I've hoped before, and I have had my hope kill me previously. So nice to see that the Canes appear to be as good as advertised.
Yeah, those previous years we didn't have Cam Ward, plain and simple. So things do appear to be different this year. But I will say I had a nightmare last night. I actually had 2 nightmares last night. The most important one, at least of relevance for this show, is that we were in overtime with Virginia Tech and things were not looking good. But then, you know how sometimes things just don't make sense in dreams? I left the stadium when we were about to lose, got home to my place, and we were still in overtime about to win. So you tell me.
I don't know, Freed. I just think we've just got basically the rest of the season is just trap games, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to stop us, huh?
Every other game. I think that makes it almost like worse, though. I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, we have a good team. Like, let's play a good schedule. Like, we have a chance to like actually have some like fun games. But then every game is going to be, because we're going to be favored to win it. Like, we're favored against Virginia Tech by like 20 points.
That's right. And even the Florida State game, I mean, we're going to be favored by double digits at this point. But you'd like to hope that there's a different mentality now with this regime, with these players. I mean, you have your quarterback who's out there talking so much trash to the other team. He's literally pointing to where we're about to run the ball on the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you have that mentality, there's no shortcuts. There's no taking opponents lightly. Well, I guess that in and of itself does kind of take the opponent lightly, but in a way where you know that you're prepared to win. And the good thing is all of these games are against ACC teams other than Cal, of course, who have beat us in recent years. So we're going into this Virginia Tech game. You know, it's a Friday night at home. Virginia Tech's a historic rival. I think just based on that alone, they're not going to necessarily take them lightly. You have a team like Georgia Tech who beat us last year when we were 20-point favorites, this and that. Actually, in the same exact scenario, you know, going in 4-0, a lot of hope, undefeated, wearing black. So I don't think you take games like that lightly. Louisville's going to be on the road. Florida State's Florida State. That's always going to get your best bet. And then even teams like Duke, that's Manny Diaz coming into town. So can you really expect players to take that lightly when you have dudes on this team who were recruited by him and coached by him?
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying, and I think in previous years that's a trap that we fall into, but you just got to hope that there's enough meat on the bones for them to continue taking care of business And you know what? If something happens and they lose one of these games, it's okay. You just can't let it derail the entire season. You need to go into the ACC championship game with one loss, if that's what happens, and you take care of business, and you're in the playoffs with a 3 or a 4 seed.
Yeah. I think what I more mean is like there's nothing to like I'm not like looking forward to any one particular game. Oh my god. That's a fine.
Work call.
That's a fine. He's playing hooky. Yeah, it's more that just like I'm like, okay, Virginia Tech, the lead it up to it, I'm like, I don't care about this game. It's a 20-point. Okay, like we should win it easily. But
Right.
just like, I felt the same way about the USF game. And then when we started winning by 3 touchdowns, I was like, this rules. This is great. Like,
yeah, it's
win by
fun.
3 touchdowns.
It's fun to dominate. We just got to enjoy the process of seeing Cam Ward rack up stats in the first 3 quarters and seeing our big time freshmen do big time things in the 4th quarter. That's kind of the ultimate goal. And then,
Yep, that's what we've seen so far.
yeah, and then it's just going to be different when you get to that ACC championship game. You start to get that excitement of, are we going to win? Because every game during this season, if that excitement of are we going to win isn't there, that's a good thing. We just got to get used to it.
Yeah. True that. True that, Freed. Freed, it's time for us to stop talking all this nonsense.
Please.
About the Canes, about trap games. It's time for us to talk about kombucha. It's time for us to tell the Boochies what we're drinking.
What we're drinking.
All right, Freed, we are drinking a new and improved flavor. This is according to the little kind of sticker on this. We're drinking the Health Aid pomegranate blueberry.
Pomegranate blueberry. Boochies, you may recall, this was the #1 Booch on the Booch Big Board for a couple of seasons, and I think it's still in 2nd place, or at least tied for 2nd place.
Yeah, it got like an 8 out of 10.
Very strong 8.0. Yeah.
All right.
So new and improved. Let's see if that's fake news.
Pomegranate and blueberry, both kind of like bitter type fruits to a degree.
We don't get a whole lot of blueberry Booches out there. I actually used to make a blueberry back when I was doing homebrewing. I would do like a blueberry ginger, and it was quite good.
Well, I do have my main lobster festival posters up behind me, so a nice little blueberry Booch is the perfect thing for a boy like me who loves the great state of Maine.
Especially, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take a little sniff.
Pungent, very Boochy.
Boochy, but not overwhelmingly like vinegary, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Let's get after it.
It smells like blueberry yogurt for some reason. I guess yogurt's fermented.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say that tastes good.
It's
I think
more
flavors work together.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not picking up on a whole lot of blueberry. It's quite similar to the OG pomegranate.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those. Well, on the bottle they have a big ass pomegranate,
Right.
and then they have a little blueberry hanging from the tippity top of the pomegranate's head, kind of like a little baby hanging onto it.
So potentially it's to scale both in fruit size and proportions.
Sure.
Mhm.
But also, I think it's what we're saying here, that there's a I wonder what this looks like out of the bottle. Hold on for a second. I'm going to go get a glass.
Alex has left the building. In the meantime, we'll talk ingredients. Pomegranate juice is the #1 additive. They also have blueberry puree and pomegranate essence. Wow. I wonder if that's why they think it's improved, because they threw some essence in there.
Yeah, that's a nice color to it, I must say.
Yeah, winey, like a rosé.
Yeah, I'm also drinking it in a wine glass, so
Even more whiny. You know, I'm looking at the ingredients a little deeper here.
Ooh,
They,
blueberry
they're,
actually comes through even more out
oh
of
yeah,
the bottle.
wow. They they're doing some interesting things with their kombucha. They're specifying the ingredients that they put into the kombucha, the macro ingredient. Listen to this: filtered water, acids from fermentation, cane sugar, apple juice, black tea, green tea, raisin juice concentrate,
Raisin
kombucha
juice.
cultures, carbonation. This is some new stuff out of Health Aid doing the apple juice and the raisin juice as additional sweeteners.
I've
Interesting.
never heard of raisin juice. Do you think that's gonna make me shit better?
You're thinking of prune juice. I guess it's all kind of in the same
What's the difference between a prune
ballpark.
and a raisin?
Well, a prune is a raisin of a plum, and a raisin is a raisin of a grape.
Oh, prune juice. We don't really see any plum style kombuchas, do we?
No, but I did just get that spooky season, which was a pear, a normal. Kroger spooky
Paranormal.
season, Booch.
Very
Paranormal.
nice. Plum
Plumbus.
plum delicious. Man, that's plum delicious. All right, Freed. Well, that's what we're drinking today. We're drinking the Health Aid pomegranate blueberry. So far, so good, I would say, on the pomegranate blueberry. But Freed, now that we've told our good Boochies what we are drinking today on this morning edition of Booch Ball, it's now time for us to move on to the second segment of the show, which is, of course, what we're thinking.
What are they thinking about today? Nobody knows. I don't even
All right,
know what we're
Freed.
thinking about today.
All right, that's because I'm in charge of the thinking for this episode. And I have a couple things that I'm thinking about here, including one of them is a little game that we're going to play together here, Freed. Actually, technically, I played this game yesterday, so it's really just going to be me quizzing you.
Cheater.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So I'll start off with this. We have a new AP number 1, Freed. For those of you who are following in the college football world, it is actually Texas. University of Texas at Austin. They are the number 1 team in the country, backed by kombucha boy Quinn Ewers, the first quarterback / player ever to be sponsored by a kombucha company.
And maybe the only.
We remember this. This is like back in our
This was
football
OG.
heyday.
Yeah, this was like 2021, maybe his freshman year. That's why we call him the Kombucha Golden Boy. It was what was that company? It was the Dallas-based company. I think you shattered their bottle.
Wasn't it Mortal something? No, that
No.
was a different one.
I
remember.
We'll
I remember, but
later.
I don't.
Yeah,
it's not important because now Quinn Ewers isn't even the quarterback. Now it's Arch Manning. God, Freed, your keyboard is so loud against the
holy kombucha. I had to throw that in.
Holy kombucha. Now that's a Texas kombucha for you. Holy kombucha.
Holy kombucha.
Oh well, holy kombucha.
And I just want to take this moment to say that in my Booch Ball playoff projections that I've been tweeting out every single week, I've had Texas as number 1 for 2 weeks now. So I'm ahead of the curve.
2 whole weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's because we got Quinn Ewers, and Quinn Ewers gets injured, and this is nice to put in. If your quarterback gets injured, you put in the prodigy Arch Manning's. Well, he's Arch Manning, right? No, it's Archie.
He's the current Texas QB goes by Arch. The grandfather went by Archie.
Right.
But what's on the birth certificate? Who knows? Are they archers? Are they architects? I have no idea.
And he's the son of Cooper Manning. Cooper Manning, not Eli or Peyton.
Correct. He's the nephew to Peyton and Eli.
Anyways, we digress. So Texas is number 1, Freed. Yeah, nice to have some quarterbacks like that in your back pocket. There's like a parade of ambulances. Parade of ambulances going by.
Put your hands in the air.
No, it's because Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, was recently indicted on federal charges. So the whole city's kind of things are feeling a little freaky around here, Freed.
I just want to shout out for the Boochies who don't know. My wife and I were actually in New York a couple weekends ago. We got to have an in-person little Booch Ball drink date, and Alex got to meet Kayla for the first time. It was a big deal in the Booch Ball world.
It's very sweet, even though you guys were exhausted from your wedding that you guys were at.
Yeah, Rob's wedding shenanigans. Shout out to Dr. Rob. He gave everybody toothbrushes and floss in the goodie bags. Not really. But he should have.
Yeah, he absolutely should have done that. I know
they had pizza, little to-go things of pizza to give out when you left the wedding, which was sick. But it should have came with like a little doggy bag with some toothpicks, floss.
Yeah, the classic thing, and maybe like a little finger toy or something like that.
All branded with the good doctors.
Yeah,
the doctors. Practice, of course.
Sure. But Freed,
I did.
Let's get into this here. So we've got a new number one team, which made me think. Can you name every school that has ever been number one?
Oh my!
So do you remember Sporkle?
No.
So Sporkle is one familiar. Of these. It's one of those it's one of those sites that you could go on like at the library in high school and you could play these little games, name all the state flags, that kind of thing. So I have a Sporkle quiz of every AP number one school. Can you name the schools that have ever held a number one ranking in a weekly AP college football poll?
Okay, so I have two questions. Can I ask some caveats? Like, when did the AP poll come out? And how many are on this list?
I don't know. Let's say the AP poll came out in like 1980.
Okay. How many are on this list? Is it more than like 30?
There's a bunch.
Okay, so probably not, but let's start running through.
We're going to see if you can name more than me. I stopped at I got 25 out of 44.
Okay. All right. I bet I can get to 30.
And you've got 5 minutes.
Miami. Florida.
Bro, we haven't started the quiz yet. Okay?
We're
going to count down this quiz.
Okay.
And I will say one other thing about the new Google AI stuff. Google AI is terrible. I just looked up last time Miami was ranked number one, and the AI overview says the Miami Hurricanes football team was last ranked number one in the nation in 1986 when they held the spot for 15 weeks. The Hurricanes' record-breaking offense and top 5 defense, led by Vinny Testaverde, Miami's first Heisman Trophy winner, helped the team achieve this ranking. Shut the fuck up. They're not true. Like, they have the gist of it right, but they're way off. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here, Freed.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
You might want to switch this to landscape for this.
All right, here he is. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't switch. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, Freed, you got 5 minutes. Ready, set, go.
Miami.
Correct. 68 weeks. Florida, 41 weeks, number one.
Florida State.
FSU. Correct.
Georgia.
Oops. Yep.
Georgia Tech.
I don't believe so, Freed. I tried that as well. Nope. No. Tough. Georgia Tech.
Go ahead with South Carolina. Clemson.
Clemson is in there. Yep. 25 weeks.
I'm going to skip the North Carolina schools. Give me Virginia Tech.
Virginia.
Mike Vick era.
Oh, you stole one. You got Virginia.
Oh, we got a Virginia. Sick.
No Virginia Tech, though.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's a mistake. We're going to go ahead and throw Maryland in there, but I don't buy it. Penn State.
All right, we're going to do Penn State, and then we're going to do Maryland. Oh, Maryland at 6 weeks. That's interesting.
Okay. Alabama.
Gotta be.
Lock in. Auburn. Also should be a lock.
Virginia Tech has never been number one.
Give me Mississippi State.
Mississippi.
And
State. Ah, God damn it.
I was gonna guess that next, but that's a freebie. Mississippi State should have one too.
Yep. You got 12 out of 44.
LSU.
LSU, yes.
Let's see how old this thing goes back. Tulane.
No.
Nah. All right, Texas.
When was Tulane good? Texas, yes.
In the 30s. Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Yes.
Give me Baylor.
Baylor. No Baylor.
Give me SMU.
SMU, yes. So for only 2 weeks.
I don't think TCU's got it, but throw TCU in there too, because why not?
TCU does have it.
Oh,
for
wow.
2.
And let's do a Texas Tech. Also, I don't think they have it either, but maybe.
No Texas Tech.
Texas. They're close.
You're at 17 out of 44 with about a little bit more than 2 minutes remaining.
Oklahoma.
There it is.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. No.
Okay. Tennessee.
Tennessee. Gotta be.
Arkansas.
Yes, for only 1 week, Freed.
Ohio State. We got to start cruising.
You know that. Yep.
Michigan.
Michigan. Yep.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yes, for 21
Iowa.
weeks. Michigan State right below Michigan. That's interesting.
Iowa State.
Yes. Iowa State. No.
Nebraska.
Yes,
Definitely.
Nebraska.
All right. Colorado.
Yes. You are at 26 out of 44 free.
BYU.
Can you go for 30? BYU,
Utah.
yes, for 4 weeks.
Utah
is a no.
Arizona,
no.
Arizona State before you take it away.
Arizona State, no.
USC and UCLA.
Yes.
Cal.
Yes.
And Stanford.
No.
Oregon,
gotta be.
Oregon State,
nope.
Nah. Washington.
Yes.
And I want a Washington State also.
Nope.
All right. Let's see. Give me a Boise State just in case. But that's probably a no.
Did you say Nebraska? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did say Nebraska. It's
all right, good.
You got it in there. Okay, so I've tried to go through the country pretty meticulously, but I'm clearly missing some things.
You're missing a big one up here.
I can't see your screen well enough.
You got Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, blank. Southern California.
Did I do Texas already? We already did Texas.
Yeah, we did Texas.
We're struggling. I see the clock ticking too. We're at 10 seconds. What did you get to?
I got to 24 or something like that.
So we already won. All right, we're just gonna let the clock tick. I'm donezo.
All right. Very well, Freed. Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame.
And
Notre
Army.
Dame.
Army, actually, for some reason, pretty in there. So the only ones you missed were Notre Dame, Army, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Syracuse, Northwestern, Purdue, Cornell, Missouri, Boston College, North Carolina, and Wisconsin for one.
Yeah, I miss those are the big states. The ones I'm mad about is Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Missouri. And I purposely didn't go with North Carolina, so I guess that's on me. But yeah, Notre Dame I should have picked up, and those other big states. But some of those were sneaky. Like
why did you purposely not do North Carolina?
I don't know. I was just trying to conserve time, and I didn't think they were ever number one. I wasn't going to go like Duke, North Carolina State. I just didn't think any of them were in there.
Well,
so
1 week.
I like this though. That's a tough one. Cornell and Northwestern, Purdue, Syracuse, Army. Army kind of makes sense because they were good, back in the day. But that's sneaky.
I can ask Google the last time Army was ranked number one.
I bet you it's in the 60s.
Army Cadets was ranked number one for the most of the 1946 season.
We were good back in the early 1940s. The Army was strong. Can confirm.
When was the AP poll?
Everybody probably went to Army in the early 1940s.
At the end of the 1947 season, the AP released their first poll. That's interesting. Division
Yeah.
1 men's football inaugural polls. Oh, 1936. Damn. That makes it even more impressive that Miami is so far up there, you know.
We had a run. We
did.
So where are we? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are 8th place. We got to get back. We're only 4 weeks behind Florida State.
Yep.
We need a month as a
And
number
Nebraska.
1 team.
Like, we're gonna beat out Nebraska, surely.
We could get to number 1 this season. I'm just saying.
These number 1 rankings are few and far between. Like, I feel like it's hard to get a number 1 that if you're not like, I'm surprised Georgia hasn't like risen up significantly, but like, you know, they'll probably by the end of the season be back up above Florida.
Well, there's only 15 weeks in the polling season, maybe 16.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep.
It's not like you're getting 50 a year.
Yeah, you can only do too much.
But hey, I see a path for Miami. We just keep winning these ACC games.
Mm-hmm.
These teams ahead of us are going to lose, and
Lots of trap games.
Yeah, we got to take care of business. Let's not worry about weeks as number 1. Let's win 1 week at a time, baby.
I agree, Freed. And Freed, do you want to know one of my favorite websites that my cousin Connor, who went to Florida State, showed me?
Yes.
IsTheUback.com.
Does it just say no?
The U is not back. Oh, I forgot I was just sharing my specific window.
Rude.
Yeah, well, I just ruined the surprise, but the IsTheUback.com, the answer is no. The U is not back. Stop fucking with it, Freed. The U is not back. That ends our segment today of What We're Thinking, Freed. It's now time for us to tell the good people what we're picking. What is our slate for Week 5, Episode 5?
All right, let's get her loaded on up. All right, so we got Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Both of these teams lost last week. K-State favored by 5. Louisville at Notre Dame in a fringe ACC game. Notre Dame favored by 6.5, and I hate the 6.5 favorite score. That's so tight. Georgia, 2-point road dogs against Alabama in what is surely the game of the week. And let's not forget our sentiment pick. We got Liberty on the road against Appalachian State.
Liberty.
And they're favored by 3.5. All right, well, let's get into it with the what appears to be the race for the 2 seed in the Big 12. Oklahoma State at Kansas State. K-State's favored by 5. What are you thinking here?
Well, there's a thing going around about this guy who's pretending to be Bill Snyder from Kansas State, like the super old coach that used to coach Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that if Kansas State didn't win in their last game, he would stick a beefy 5-layer burrito up his ass.
I did not realize that was supposed to be a Bill Snyder thing. I just thought the 5-layer burrito.
That's what his name was. He's like Bill Snyder account. Allegedly, he is going to do it, or at least he like posted that he does have the burrito.
This is all due to that dog food or the dog shit thing.
Yeah, right? the Florida State fan who said he would eat dog shit and then didn't do it.
That created a whole new meta of people just posting things that they're going to eat if their team loses, ranging from weird things up the butt to just having a good steak and a moderately priced glass of wine.
Yeah, it's his name is Saint Bill Snyder. And he tweeted, in talks with Taco Bell execs, we're going to make college football history. I can't imagine Taco Bell would want anything to do with sticking one of their products up this guy's ass. I also am not sure how he could possibly prove that he did do it.
I think you could film it with that sideways view where you only see like the side butt cheek. There's no crack. There's no hole. There's no genitalia. And you just, but you could be, it's unclear if it's going in or behind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know the one thing that I did see as far as like this becoming like a meme is that I recently saw something where a guy was like, if my team loses to, and it's something where there's going to be a big blowout. I can't even remember who it is, but it was basically like, my team loses, I will eat a 22-ounce ribeye steak with buttery mashed potatoes and a glass of reasonably priced red wine.
You poor thing.
That sounds like a great idea. That's what I'm going to do for every game as well.
I'm gonna drink a kombucha.
But Freed, just because I'm like anti people making these like outlandish things of like, I'm going to eat shit, I'm going to stick stuff up my ass. Stick things up your ass on your own time in the privacy of your own home. Go to town, go for it, but don't go like doing it for clout and then have it doing this whole thing where you like turn it into a brand deal. I'm taking Oklahoma State here.
Sound analysis, as always. I'm taking Oklahoma State too for more analytical of a purpose. They've just been a weird team this year. My opinion of them constantly changing week to week, where I'm like, wow, these guys are good. They're going to win the Big 12, to these guys suck, to wow, they're actually good. They're going to win the Big 12, to these guys suck. So I'm assuming a bounce back to these guys are good. And I'm thinking they're going to cover and win, even though they benched their 7-year QB, Alan Bowman, in the middle of last week's game. You can be a 7th year. You could still be mid. And you could
like DJ Ukulele.
That's right. So I don't even know who the backup is, but he can't be any worse. I'm hoping Ollie Gordon comes back from wherever he's been, and OK State figures it out a little bit. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have the Louisville Cardinals going into South Bend and taking on Notre Dame. Notre Dame favored by 6.5. Who do you like here, Freed?
I'm going with the dog again. Notre Dame has been bad this year. Riley Leonard has not looked nearly as good as he did early season last year before he got hurt. Louisville's not like a team I'm scared of per se, but they have some firepower, and I think they're going to cover and actually win this game. Peter's here too.
I like that. Hi, Peter. Peter the cat. I'm with you there, Freed. I want what's his face? Who's the Notre Dame coach who's handsome? Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, my cousin.
Yeah, we need this guy to prove something to us. You can't lose to Northern Illinois in your season and expect to get any respect from me. So you will not be getting respect from me until you can beat Louisville at home.
So you're picking Louisville?
Sure.
All right, now for the one everybody wants to see. Georgia and Bama. Georgia is a 2-point underdog, but they're on the road.
I thought they were favored.
Yeah, sorry. Georgia is a 2-point road favorite. So it's Georgia -2. Excuse my confusion. Who are you picking here and why?
Freed, no one strolls into Bama and beats Bama at least like a lot of the time. So because the stakes are lower than they've ever been in this type of game, and I know it's Alabama's, we don't have Nick Saban anymore. This is the chance for Alabama's coach who came over from what's his name? DeBoer from Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the game. This is the game of his young career, and I think he'll have the boys fired up. And I don't think Georgia's looking as good this year. I also just don't trust Carson Beck. I'm sorry. He's just ugly. He's ugly. I'll say it. I think he's ugly, and I don't think you can have a really good team with an ugly quarterback.
Carson Beck kind of has that sleepy look to him. The way that
he has lidded eyes.
That point guard from Michigan State, like 5-6 years ago, he had that sleepy look to him.
Draymond Green?
No, more recently. I forget. He was a big name guy. Let me Google this. Listen to my types.
All right. This is always great. Been really struggling to remember things today.
What is this guy's name? Maybe search 2018 maybe. Where's Cassius Winston?
I have no idea who that is. Nobody
Yes, you
knows who
do.
that is.
Yes, you do.
He's not in the NBA, is he?
Yeah, he had a cup of coffee. Dude, you
I
know
get-
this is. Let me share my
Nobody
screen.
knows who
Here we
Cassius
go.
is.
How do I
I'm
do this?
looking at him.
Share screen.
Yeah, he has bags under his eyes.
You don't remember him from the NCAA tournament?
You're not sharing your screen yet.
Oh, you sure?
No, now I am. I believe me, Fried. I already looked. I have Google too.
I'm trying to show the Boochies Cassius.
All right. No one cares about Cassius Winston. What they do care about, by the way, Fried, is that you owe me $5 from last week's Booch bet. Speaking of Cassius, so
good call. You
I'd
ready
like
for
you to
it?
Cash App me, please. Please and thank you. All right. That came through.
Ka-ching. All right. So anyway, Georgia QB sleepy, Cassius Winston sleepy. Nobody walks in to Bama and beats Bama in Bryant-Denny except for Georgia.
Whoa.
Georgia's gonna take this one.
Okay. Wow. He's picking old Rumpelstiltskin over here. Fucking. Who's the guy who slept for a long time?
Sleeping Beauty.
No. All right. Just set up the next game. I'll tell everybody.
All right, let's talk sediment pick. As y'all may know, sediment pick is where we scrape the bottom of the college football barrel for that juicy sediment, just like at the bottom of our kombucha. I'm gonna taste
Rip
some of
Van Winkle. That's
yeah, Rip.
Rumpelstiltskin. Come on.
Close enough. I'm gonna taste some of that sediment right now. Hang on. Taste it. All right, for our sediment pick today, we got Liberty Dibberty, 3.5 point favorites on the road in Boone, North Carolina against Appalachian State. What do you like here?
Fried, I usually don't like to pick Liberty because I'm kind of against their general culture, but I just think they are good at football, even after it's really Hugh Freeze that I don't like. But now he's coaching Auburn, right? He kind of switched over.
That's right.
So I'm back to like not having like a super bad hatred of Liberty anymore. So I'm gonna say Liberty over App State. Forget about Boone, North Carolina. Been there, done that. You guys beat Michigan. That was a long time ago. Go Flames.
All right, so Liberty's still kind of a whole weird school and concept. So that's one thing. Boone, North Carolina, Booch loving place, Booch loving people. But I'm with you. I got Liberty covering.
Okay.
So it's going to come down to the Georgia-Bama game, and let's see. It's a 2-point spread. There could be a tie, and if there's a tie, we get into our tiebreaker, which is, of course, the Miami score prediction. Let's take a minute and prep our Miami score predictions, and we'll get back with you, Boochies, here in just a second.
Booch. We playing Booch ball. Booch. We playing Booch ball.
We're back. All right, Alex, do you want to lead us off?
Sure, Fried. I say Miami's got a nice matchup with Virginia Tech. I think Miami is gonna let the good times roll here. I'm expecting Miami to win 41-20.
All right, we are pretty similar as per usual. I think Miami is going to get slowed down a little bit for the first time this year, just because you can't score 40 points every single game. So I got us with 38, and I think kind of like last week, Virginia Tech manages to keep it close in the first half before we pull away. I'm going 38-21. You may even see a pretty tight game at halftime, but ultimately, I just don't think. I don't think they can hang with us. Who's going to stop us, huh?
Not me.
All right, so
let's stop this.
I got a 17-point Canes win. Alex with a 21-point Canes win, meaning the Booch ball spread is 19. Yeah, 19. Some ETF 5-bot math right there. All right, well, there's only one thing left to do, Alex. We told the people what we're drinking. We told the people what we're thinking. We talked a little bit about our kombucha canes, and we already told them who we're picking.
That's right.
So let's talk about this kombucha, and let's give it a final score. We know it's new, but is the pomegranate blueberry improved?
I would say the short answer is the opposite of istheyouback.com. The answer is yes. This is new and it is improved. So double yes. That being said, I think we had some questions about our original ratings to the Health Aid pomegranate.
Mm-hmm.
I believe when I did the pomegranate again, I gave it more around like a 7, which is in that would recommend range, but not quite at that 8 delicious standpoint. But Freed, you know what? I'm feeling generous today, and I'm going to say the Health Aid pomegranate with the blueberry actually reclaimed its number 8 spot. So I'm going to give that a straight up 8. This is a delicious Booch.
Back to delicious. Okay. Look at that. I love that. All right.
Especially when poured out into a little wine glass.
Yeah, I didn't do that, so I guess I'm not maximizing my my opportunity. The aromatic opportunities are not potentially being maximized. Peter, you cannot jump on my computer right now, bro. All right, he's laying on the computer. You're messing up the Boocha Big Board. Cat emergency. All right, and we're back. Gotta scroll all the way back up to the top.
God, your typing is so loud. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Okay. Alex has an 8. And once again, pretty similar here for me. The pomegranate adds this little bit of earthiness that I just think goes so well with kombucha. Kind of the same reason why I like the carrot in some of these gingery booches. It just adds something different. I'm just below the delicious threshold, although I am quite pleased with it. I'm at a 7.9.
Wow. I almost gave it a 7.9, and then I was like, why do that? Let me just give it the 8 that it deserves on this beautiful beach ball morning.
All right. Well, the ETF 5-bot has an easy one today. Let's see what we got. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. The ETF 5-bot, like honestly, instead of beeping, it should just be typing.
No, I don't like the typing. I should prefer there was a lot less typing on these episodes in general. If it's all the same to you.
I gotta stop Googling stuff. Pero like irregardless, the Health Aid pomegranate blueberry, 7.95. It's new, arguably not improved, but it depends who you ask, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. All right. So did you already slot that in on the Boocha Big Board? It looks like it's going to come in as a top 5 kombucha.
I have not revised it, but yeah, I mean, really, it's just one spot right below the OG Health Aid pomegranate, which now you got to assume that's a collector's item. If you got any Health Aid pomegranates that have been refrigerated for the last year or so, just laying around, big money on eBay.
So is the Health Aid pomegranate, does that stay in? We keep those 2 in the top 5, or does the Health Aid pomegranate now get removed from this list?
That's a tough question. They're technically the same bloodline, but distinct at the same time. I feel like that's something for our intern to sort out in the future when we have one.
It's kind of cheating, it feels like, to have we're gonna do the flavor that you already liked and do one little thing to it that doesn't really change it. And now we have 2 in the same rating. I don't know.
I think the Health Aid pomegranate needs to move into the archive. So that score is going to be saved, but it can't remain on the active list.
Yeah, but
it's on the permanent.
It's taking up too much space on the on the Boocha Big Board. All right, we can sort that out in post. Boochies, thank you for joining us here on this morning edition. We've got a big matchup game. I'm going to be going down to DC to watch Canes play Virginia Tech. And then one of these days, Freed and I are going to meet up in Georgia for the Miami Georgia Tech game. So if anybody's down there and wants to hang out, you let us know.
Yeah, but we're gonna meet up in Miami for Florida State game first. So it's gonna
Oh,
be
shit.
2 Booch Ball tailgates in the span of like 3 weeks in about a month.
Perfect.
Looking forward to that. We'll have the Booch flowing. So come through. We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
The Booch flowing like wine. Thank you, Boochies. Stay safe.